Welcome back to Beyond the Film podcast, where a woman is always the best man for a job. I'm Meadow, she's Rose, and you're time traveling with us back to 1946 to break some glass ceilings. Today, we're going to be talking about the first half of the first season of Agent Carter. Okay, so
jumping right in.
So we're setting the stage. Okay. We get some flashbacks to establish the timeline. Okay, Cap, he's
Say me that dance.
Oh, I don't want to step on you. Don't even get to know what he don't want to step on. Probably toes, but dang, he goes in the ice. And Peggy, she still want to serve her community, so she's in the SSR. I don't remember what that stands for.
Strategic something. It's literally on like the back wall.
And I thought that it was very interesting that their logo matches the SHIELD logo, and I'm like, this is probably not very coincidental at all, considering that Peggy founds SHIELD.
Yeah, definitely think it's like some like SHIELD is some morph.
Yeah, like maybe I wonder if that industry got turned into SHIELD. I feel like that's
what I'm guessing. I have
a
lot of theories.
I hope that we get to see that.
I feel like maybe in season 2 they'll do it because they only did 2 seasons.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. All right, but this organization is hidden behind a call center. That's her cover that she's lying to all her girl peeps about. And I just want to know, why didn't she return to Britain after the war? Like, everything was over,
I mean, but why did she fight in America during the war instead of with Britain?
I forgot. There was something that they talked about. I think it was honestly because like they wouldn't let a woman be in.
She went where it was. Maybe that's why.
Maybe
she
that's
stayed
why
where she got a job.
That's a good point, because I didn't remember that when we were talking about it. I mean, when I was watching it. But we also see the impact that Cap's death has had on her, and like she pushes people away so harshly. She's like, no, like,
everyone that I get close to gets killed.
Just like, dang it. But yeah, Baby Girl is traumatized. Next, we see Howard is in trouble. Like, always can count on a Stark boy to get in trouble. And I wonder, like, the Stark boys, they're the only 2 boys, just Howard and Tony. And that made me,
I mean, if you go backwards.
Right, like
dad,
his father, but
that like we that, get to see. Yeah, he is an only child, and
also like we don't ever hear anything about Grandpa Stark.
In this, a little bit we do in this one. It's like one sentence. Like, yeah, I came from poverty. My dad was a blah, and my mom was a
yeah. I remember that, but yeah, bro, I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, brothers, like he must have been an only child too. Maybe,
right? No, yeah. I feel like part of that is like movie magic, because a lot of heroes and like when you have like big movies where you can't really focus on siblings, usually they're an only child. Like majority of the people in the MCU are an only, besides Natasha, but that wasn't even brought up until later.
And Wanda.
Yeah, but
then he tragically died. Wow.
They're either only child, or they become an only child.
Dun dun dun.
Only one sibling can. No, literally.
Stop.
Literally.
That's crazy. There can only be one.
And
like, not even to jump or like to get crazy, but in the X-Men series, like Wolverine, he has a brother.
Yeah. There can only be one.
I mean, it's later on down the movies, but like, yeah, craziness. But yeah, count on them to get in trouble.
Back to the Stark boys.
You can count on them to get in trouble. Okay, especially with some kind of government. And as soon as we see him like on screen for the first time, that's like not a flashback, we just automatically get reminded of course of his similarities with Tony, and the cockiness, like the arrogance, and like the way that they feel when they know like they're innocent, like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, like I can just talk however, versus like how silent they are when they feel guilty about something.
I definitely want, I don't know if you have this in there, but I want to talk about like them during this podcast.
All right, well, You can bring it up. Are you ready to bring it up now, or does
We
it come up
can.
later?
Yeah,
talk about them.
Okay. Like you're saying, there definitely are, like, I didn't write any of this stuff. They're just off the dome. Definitely are, like, similarities. And I feel like in this show we see Howard Stark as like a Tony Stark, because at this point in the MCU, this is, I want to say, this is released after the 2 Iron Man movies. I'm just taking a guess here.
I believe so.
I don't really know, but like, Stark that we know is Tony Stark. We know his characteristics. We know he's a playboy, narcissist, all like so excited. And then when we see Howard, it's like you can see a carbon copy. Like young Howard is this, but to Tony, like he only knows his dad as like
stern,
strict,
figure,
not a good personality. And I feel like part of why Howard was like that is because Tony might remind him too much of himself, because they are very similar. Like their weapons being sold on the black market and not knowing, them being like these brilliant minded people. I feel like one difference is, though, because I didn't know until, it's not told till the 4th episode, but like Howard grew up poor. Like he had to like get his stuff by himself. Yeah. And Tony was kind of like given, he is very smart, but he is given more than his father. I just feel like that can create some turmoil too. So yeah, I feel like part of their relationship is probably Howard not wanting his son to become him, because like he knows what could happen. Yeah. And like I feel like their story is repeating. Exactly. Like Howard Stark is just repeating all over again.
Exactly, because instead of trying to actually talk to him about these things and be direct, he's just like subtly trying to do it, and that's just going to draw him towards the thing that you don't want him to be towards. So like, tell the truth.
Like their storylines are the exact same. It's just Tony became a superhero, and like you kept pushing down like the billionaire genius road instead.
Which is very interesting to see, like the route that he becomes based off of like the Howard that we see here, based off the Howard honestly that we see in Captain America. Like he seemed like a much more genuine kind of person, but he already did like build up that reputation of like just being this millionaire guy, like doesn't really care about anything else.
There is a switch though. Like when he died, was he still part of SHIELD?
I do believe so, because he died for the spoiler. He died for the blue stuff, the super serum.
I mean, it's not that. We're talking about that this season.
Okay. Well, yes, he died for the super serum. He had super serum in his trunk, then somebody wanted to get it, so they got it and they killed him.
I'm very curious though if the writers of this series were able to take into account the future of the MCU. Because I feel like I feel like I put it here like when I was writing up the schedule, because it's where it was released, like during this time, like between like the sequels of like Captain America and stuff. So I feel like I wonder, because like when they did Multiverse of Madness with Wanda and stuff, the directors didn't watch WandaVision. That's why there's such a weird like disconnect there.
That's so weird. Why?
Yeah.
Bro, do your homework.
I don't think it was out when they started filming, but they still should have been given information about it.
No, literally.
So I wonder if when they were filming this, because this came out on ABC. So I wonder if this would like flows with the actual MC, or do we have to like kind of put it together ourselves? Because like point. Yeah, there's definitely a shift between like this Howard and like when we see him in the MCU. Even when, spoiler, when we go to like the end of the Infinity Saga and like Tony sees his father again, but like before he has a kid, he's still like this grown, like more stern, more like mature man.
So like I wonder what changed for him.
Yeah.
I want, because it obviously wasn't Cap's death.
What made him settle down too?
No, exactly, because that's what I want to know. He's talking about all this stuff. You know, he got the pictures on. He's
stuck with 2 girls just being in her apartment.
Like, bro, can we please get it together? And
just by that's crazy.
Like, where did he
just knocking on the door and like they just let you in? Like,
No, literally, like, are these girls that desperate?
Yeah.
But it's not like they're stuck here forever. Like, they could go home with the man. Like, they just can't bring him back to the hotel.
But they're virgins. Like, they can't.
Who says that they're virgins?
Well, Miriam thinks they are, because she talks about their virtue and like you're not at the right age. You have to keep your virtue. You can't do it until like you get married. So this is the time where it's like women, women are not allowed to know about this type of stuff, and they're not allowed to do anything.
I forgot about the part of not being able to know about it. Yeah, but I didn't even think about like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this right now. And when she was saying that, I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
We're back in the day.
Like, I understand, but I'm just like, you're just being a old lady. Like, you're just being the protective old lady or whatever. But
these are the times.
That's very interesting.
I mean, the fact that they have jobs is crazy to me.
Yeah, I talk about that a little bit too.
But also
it's like after the war, and so like during the war when all the men were away, that's when the baby girl stepped up. She got the bandana, all of that.
But yeah, it's also didn't even think about that. But it was also like, like you have a job until you get married.
Very true. Very true. But this came out in 2015.
Yeah. So after that, both Iron Man and after Cap,
it would be like that came out the year like right before. No, Avengers came out in 2012. Well, it came out very close to like Endgame then, because Endgame came out in like 2018, and they filmed their last season came out in 2016. So that's only 2 years before.
Oh, it came out late then.
Yeah.
So then they had to have a little something. But then at that point, like they're going backwards. Like they're trying to fit old Stark to like what they already put out instead of like making what they put out to old Stark.
True.
And you can definitely little small side note. I could definitely tell this was like a cable show. Like the little zooms out for the commercial breaks. Oh, I was like, what channel was this on? There's no commercial. Come on, the little like the cliffhangers that they would do.
Yeah, before
right after this break.
Yeah, I did notice that, and that is hilarious.
ABC baby,
ABC baby.
ABC shows just a hit.
Really?
ABC Family.
Yeah, my mom and my sister used to watch that all the time. Family hints, got to be.
And then they changed to Freeform, and I was mad. Freeform.
What is this? This ain't my ABC.
Anyways, back to
but at the diner, okay, like we're just seeing Peggy. She has lost her sense of purpose. Like she's working at this place. They mistreat her. They
coffee runs,
orders. They don't treat her like the detective that she is,
was
like the
during
agent
the war.
Like that she was during the war, and like that is her job position. Her title is agent. Like she is not secretary.
Man literally calls her Miriam. What is that? Is that like a sexist like
literally
gab?
And I'm like, at first I thought that like he was just mispronouncing her name, or not mispronouncing her name, but like saying a different name on purpose, like something that was similar to hers. But I was like, wait, no, her name doesn't even start with an M.
No,
so, like,
it has to be like some kind of like
old-timey thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting that like, yeah, they have all these women working up at the call center, so like to some certain extent, like you respect women to
that's what
work.
I was thinking.
However, like you trust like these women to keep your secret, to let you into your building, like all these other kinds of things, but you won't trust a woman to like. That's so weird.
Yeah, I was thinking a different thing, because I was like on the on the fourth episode, I was like, okay, why do they still have Peggy here?
Exactly.
Like, why haven't they fired her? Why? And then he was like, Peggy, literally, while I was right, he was like, Peggy, why don't you just quit? Like, why are you still working here? And I'm like, wait, yeah, because there are women who work there. Like, they're upstairs, they're doing the telemarketing. What the heck? Like, she doesn't have to be down there. So there has to be some type of pull that was given to her to get that role. And
exactly, because like, how would she even have been hired?
Yeah,
and so like,
she has to have been given it by like the commander
in chief or whatever. Yeah. I don't understand it as well, but I
understand why she stays.
Exactly. That's exactly what I
wrote
down.
But then like legal reasons I don't know if they have those back there, but like you can't just like fire someone for no reason.
Correct. That's also what I was thinking, because like they probably can't fire her like based off of some kind of discrimination situation. Like there's probably some kind of rules put in place since women are now able to be in the workplace. Like there had to be some kind of laws put in place as men came to transition to being back at work and everything from the war. But we also see that she might have a potential love interest with Detective Sousa.
I'm glad you peeped that.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like, there's my theory. He is the baby daddy.
Me
like,
too.
There's no way he's not.
Exactly. That's exactly what I
think.
Slow
burn type.
Especially because like the one cop, it was like, oh, you know, she's not going to trade in a shield for a crutch or whatever. And I'm just like, you're so mean. Like, she's not going to date you, you cheater.
Well, he doesn't have a chance anymore, so.
No, he doesn't. He's like, oh yeah, I'll call his wife. I'll call his girlfriend.
No, that was great. Yeah. I thought that was a joke when they first said it, and then she's like, I was like, you actually have those? That's crazy, bro.
Like, sickening. Anyway, though.
R.I.P. him, I guess.
But yeah, you gotta be careful with those glass straws. So, but she gets a little note, very cryptic. Meet me in the alley in 5. Oh my goodness! But how long ago was that note left? How'd she know?
But the fact that she like just
decided to do. I mean, she was feeling lost, hopeless, and she stayed strapped, and she can punch. She ain't afraid of no man?
I guess
ain't no man finna jump her in
the alley. Where she learned to fight?
I mean, like she was in the military. She had to have some kind of combative service, like.
But like she wasn't a soldier,
training. Right? I don't know. I mean, but she decided to go into the military as a woman in that time.
How did she get in the military?
That's what I want to know.
Women in the military.
Exactly. So it's like if they didn't accept you in Britain, like they weren't going to accept you here in America. And it's like, how did you do this?
Do they not talk about that?
No. She's just there. We're just supposed to be like, all right.
Okay.
Yes. Like what?
Or I understand her being a part of the project. Like with the doctor, I feel like that's what it was. Like she was part of the project with the doctor, and then it transitioned into the military. No,
because like that camp was a special camp for people.
It was
to,
a special troop.
See who's gonna be Captain America.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But so then separately, where did she learn to fight? Like maybe like her daddy.
Yeah, I'm just like she's a woman who decided to go into the war and into the military during this time. So like maybe she's just one of those girls that just know how to fight.
Yeah,
just went to go find that information out by herself. Like,
yeah,
she was prepared.
Guess, but we don't get any
like lore from her. Not like
any backstory.
Backstory. That's what.
But she was in love with. I was trying to say Tony Stark. She was in love with Steve Rogers, and then he disappeared.
R.I.P.
Theorized dead.
Suspected death. But she was not afraid, so she went into the alley.
Right.
Okay, and Jarvis decided to play too much.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that was a bad idea. Like you need to come with me now.
Never talk to any other woman besides your wife.
Like what? And how did she even get her? Like it's said later, but it's like, come on, Jarvis, get it together.
Also, Jarvis, inspiration for Tony's Jarvis, which I feel like tells into like Jarvis had to been the one who raised Tony.
Him and probably Anna.
Yeah.
And and Jarvis is his last name. I forget what his first name
is.
It's
so weird hearing them say Mr. Jarvis.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the first name. What are you talking about?
And it's also kind of interesting that the character that they have for
his voice sounds so familiar. I wrote that down.
Yeah, his voice sounds familiar, and I think like they just did it on purpose to like try to be like the guy, but like yeah, like they kind of look the same too.
Yeah, I forgot about his wife too. I was like, yeah, Jarvis has raised him. No, probably Jarvis and Anna.
I wonder
Anna Jarvis and Jarvis.
That's true, Anna Jarvis, Mr. and Mrs. Jarvis. Very interesting. And I think it's hilarious how fast they leave the scene. Like she popped that tire with a bullet, and y'all just change the tire so quick. He probably may have like fancy gadgets or something because he's a scientist
Howard
man.
Starr. Yeah.
Exactly. But now we're starting to get Howard's side of the story. He's like, oh my goodness, someone cut a hole in my vault. Like, oh my gosh, like please, they sent out the bad babies, and I need you to help me, Peggy, like, please. And so she gets a new sense of justice. She gets her new sense of like purpose, and just gets re-inspired to want to go and do something. Because I think that she was just feeling very
down and out.
Exactly.
My thing is, like, he talked about it. He was like, yeah, like, I made them because like that's who I am. I'm an inventor, yada yada. But my thing is, they're dangerous after you make them. Why don't you just disassemble them?
Yeah. Like, what's the point of
keeping them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a lot of his things were like the bombs, the glowy bombs. He didn't make the glowy bombs. He had only like wrote down like the shit of how to like make it.
Equation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then people were starting to produce them.
But like the one machine where like it breaks your bones. Yeah, you could have disassembled that.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Oh no.
Dissolve them in acid, something.
Stay awake. We have 3 more episodes to go through.
But I think it was very suspicious that he was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you about this, and then I gotta go off to confront the buyer.
Right.
Like,
did he ever do that? That was never explained in episode 4.
No, it was not. Like, he just disappeared and then he came back, and it was like, we see that something shady later on is going on with him and Jarvis to keeping a secret from Peggy.
Mm-hmm. Little
liar. Everything's fine.
Which is very interesting that he just started doing that in episode 4.
Yes. And I think it's maybe because
he never had to lie before.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Like, before, it was all just like kind of withholding information about a topic that was never brought up, and then once the topic got brought up, it's like, ooh, my goodness, cat's out the bag. So yeah, now Peggy is on the investigation, and her
double agent.
Her investigation begins at the club party, and I think that it's very interesting and beautiful for her that she uses like their simple-minded idea of women against them, like for her own advantage. Like, oh, like, I have lady things going on, like, please, oh my gosh. And they're just like, oh, I can't hear it. No, don't talk. Just go do whatever you want. Go to the mall if it makes you feel better. And can I have your credit card? Like,
that's not even like old. That's still to this day too.
Exactly.
Which is like,
yeah.
How do you think you got here? Like, it's not even like something.
I feel like it's getting like less, like, I've personally have seen like less men be disgusted by it, but like still like confused and like, I don't really know what's going on, but like just do whatever it is that you need to do.
That's what I. Oops. Oh, repeat. I never used that before. Anyways, that's my experience. It's less disgust and more like, okay, I don't need to hear anymore. So we're good.
Yeah.
But for me, I keep going. Like, with my brother, he's like, that was enough. I'm like, no. Like, we're gonna talk about,
like, you need to know.
Like, I'm on my period right now and I'm in pain. But if he's simple stuff, I was like, yeah, I just got off my period. Cause we just had this conversation. We were talking about it. And he was like, yeah, like, if you need, like, I would have got you pads and stuff. Like, I would have got it. And I was like, no, like, I'm off a period. Like, it was like last week. Cause like, I didn't need to know all that. I was just saying, I would buy you pads if you need them. I'm like, dude,
do you think it's so kind of
I don't need them.
Confidential information? Like,
sir,
I don't need to know when you got off. Like, what is that gonna do?
Like, you're being helpful, but not.
What? How is this gonna help us? So,
back to regular scheduled programming.
Baby girl is at the party, and she uses this disguise, and it's good. I like it.
That wig good.
That wig was lame.
I just want her to go to the apartment just to rip it off. I'm like, there's no way.
I'm like, glueless technology was not that good back then.
No.
Okay, the girls are just now being able to do this. So what's the tea here? I know the SSR ain't giving you the check to get that wig. Where you get that wig from, Peggy?
Beauty supply. So she went to the hood.
She's like, Bronx, I need you, please. But then we also see some cool espionage gear. Okay, we got the lipstick that makes him fall asleep. Very interesting that, like, I want to know how it works, because why doesn't it make you fall asleep, like, on contact with yourself?
Maybe it's like saliva or something.
Maybe. He did, like, go right in for it. It's like, whoa.
She's buddy. Like, that was a little quicker than I thought. But
yeah,
okay.
Like, whatever. But and then we also have the code cracking watch. Like, oh, you're a fancy gal. Like, but
after this episode, we don't see a lot of gadgets.
And that's what I was wondering. I'm like, maybe we'll see them more a little bit later, but no. They scammed us. They're gonna make us think, oh, we're gonna get gadgets and gizmos and disguises. No.
Maybe because they started to focus more on like Stark's gadgets. I feel like we have to remember the time this series was brought out and how like simple series used to be.
Right. Okay. All right. But she was talking too much, bro. And she was in the office. Like, I feel like maybe she could have called him at home, because her staying in the office for that long is what caused more attention to be brought to her, and like for people to like need to know, like, oh, where did that blonde girl go? Like, if she just would have went in, went out, it would have been fine. But
then roll credits.
No, because she still had to dismantle the bomb. Like, there's still other things that needed to happen. But yeah, when she got back home, I knew I knew Ruben was gonna die. Like,
I didn't.
I thought she was gonna die from sickness though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
because like she been sick ever since.
Yes, I'm like, this girl is sick. She is dying.
I'll tell you when I wake up, I'm like, she not gonna have a chance.
No, really, I was like, she's not.
The sickness was a bullet.
But she literally did not wake up.
No, like not at all. She's allergic to gunpowder.
That's what shocked me. I was like, oh, we killing people in here.
No, exactly. I was like, oh, bullets. And then when they were trying to get information out of the Roxxon employee, man, I was like, oh, they use violence here. He's like, yeah, you're gonna want to take this wooden stick.
He's like, yeah, he's the best one in this. That was weird to me. I was like, a carrot and a stick. What the hell?
Like, I'm like, what's going on here? He's like, yeah, you're gonna want to choose.
He's the best stick. One in that room. Okay, Chad, relax. When I saw him, I was like, what are you doing here?
Get out of here. But I love how much Jarvis respects his wife in her time. He's like,
their relationship is not with the times either. Like, the man would not be cooking, he would not be cleaning. He's like, yeah, like, I'm making this for my wife. That would not be a thing.
Maybe he's different because he's from the UK.
I was gonna say maybe it's that, but like the UK was very like us during the time.
Well, he's just a good person, I guess. Mama got good manners. Daddy got good
that's
manners.
What it is. I think he's just a good guy.
Yeah, especially with like the reason that he is with Tony Stark in the first place. Yeah, like that whole situation,
which is crazy. That then translate to Howard.
About what? What do you mean? Oh,
being a good guy.
Never mind. I understand.
I got it. I hope they show us him meeting his wife.
I hope so too, but I honestly don't know if they do. I started season 2 like when I was first watching this show. Recently.
I was like, you watched that much? Dang.
No. But like I don't remember finishing it. Okay, so she gets to her room, dismantles the bomb. She was ready to risk the whole block just to dismantle. Like, what if it didn't work?
And the fact that she had like all the ingredients there too.
Yeah, and it's like I love like the old timey bottles of everything. Everything was in glass, and like I loved it
when stuff was built to last.
Like,
yeah,
don't even get me started. But this is the second time that we have now encountered silent men. Okay, silent man
voice box out
cut out right there at the bottom. That's where our voice box is.
I guess.
I
didn't know that's what that was. I was like, is he like a mutant or something? Like,
yeah, like, scar. I'm like, what's going on here? But I'm like, okay, so do these guys know each other?
Okay. They
do. They used to work together for a big evil to come. But okay, we get a little view of Ivan's father. Did you peep that?
I literally wrote that down. Who was Ivan?
Ivan
really?
Was,
I got it.
Yes, when they go to the science lab to like see, okay, how is this thing getting produced? Like, what's happening here? And we see on the tag is Dr. Vanko, and I was like, wow, I wonder if he gets brought up again at all, or is it just to, like, tie up those loose ends? Like, to confirm, yes, Howard's dad did in fact work with Ivan's dad. They were at a situation together.
That might have been just like loose end, but that
they didn't really say like, oh, okay, Dr. Vanko, like, how's your son? Like, they didn't really do anything like that to.
Well, then did Howard like come up with that all the way back then. I thought it was declared that he came up with, like, they worked on that idea like later on.
So I wouldn't doubt that like it happened later on, but
Wait,
yeah.
who is this guy? Is he? He's not the one who ran away. He's just like a.
No, yeah, he just was working at the science building.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna be honest. All of these antagonists in the show
Blurred together.
really confusing.
Hmm.
I'm so confused. Every single one that pops up.
Yeah, cause there was the blonde scary man with the revolver, but then he just died, and I was like,
yeah,
I thought that you were gonna be a big problem, but he died so quickly. I'm like, okay.
But I think that was more for the girl.
Me too. Like maybe she's gonna be a bad guy.
Yeah, or more important.
Both.
But yeah, every time they started talking to like some connection, like, who is this man? I don't even know his name. Like, what is this conversation? What are you talking about? So confused.
Yeah, a lot of filler to elongate because these
like,
have to be episodes.
Yeah, but like, yeah, we literally went on the journey with them. Like, okay, here's the lead. We're gonna talk to the lead with them, and then we're gonna go to the next lead with them, and then we're gonna go. Yeah,
yep. The whole season is about this investigation. So, okay, they are led to Roxxon, and I don't know if you have noticed, but Roxxon gets a mention in a lot of the shows, a lot of the Marvel shows. Like Roxxon is mentioned in Cloak and Dagger. That's like the main antagonist people. Roxxon is mentioned in
that. I should go watch that.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I watched the first season.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
so a lot of their like off MCU shows.
Yes. Oh, what I was gonna Punisher mentions Roxxon. Like even if they don't mention it, like it's shown in the back, so I'm like, oh, Roxxon fuel, and it's like very interesting because I don't ever remember it being mentioned in the actual movies.
Maybe it's just like a canon thing, like the Daily Bugle, like a brand that's just in the universe,
and it's like to remind you that this is all part of that. I think that I don't doubt that. I think that that's a pretty good idea. But it's also that there's always something sketchy going on with the Roxxon company, and we find out later on that Roxxon and Stark Industries has had this kind of beef going on. And I'm guessing that
isn't Roxxon like oil?
That's what I thought too, but like they have all these other things going on. Like they have scientists at buildings like that can build these bombs.
Maybe that's the cover up.
Exactly. Because why would they need to be in competition with Stark Industries if they're only a fueling company? What were we gonna say?
There's some show or movie that was like they advertise, don't know if this is you, they advertise like tennis balls. That's what they're known for, and then like everything else is like war and like fuel and like blah blah blah. Like maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Like their face is like gas, and then behind.
Yeah, because in some of the things, yeah, at because in Cloak and Dagger they were drilling for oil, but like that's what they were saying that they were doing, and like they do have gas and things like that. However, they were trying to do something a little bit more sketchy, something that was like hotter than gas. It was going to be the next game changer, and they were just messing things up.
Hotter than gas,
like. Yeah, I don't know. But once Peggy blows the cover and she's like, you know, trying to investigate, see what's going on here. The man, he's talking to her. He has a little voice box, external voice box or something. And he provides some kind of sketchy context that the Leviathan is coming.
Leviathan!
And then he tries to blow her up. Well, implode her, I guess. And
blow everything up.
Yeah. And so I wonder if the fact that like there were explosive things in there that like made the explosion so big, because like I wonder how big the implosion can be impacted, because like we see later on that like that truck full of bombs sucked up the whole lake, and then we also see that this building gets sucked up, but only from this one bomb. So I wonder like how much can the bomb destroy?
They talked about it.
I think they did do like a couple,
yeah,
maybe miles or meters, whatever they were talking about, because both Baby Girl and Jarvis are from Britain. Yeah. But yeah,
is Jarvis British? The other Jarvis,
he has an accent.
Robot, but is he British?
I don't know. I mean, like it's not stated because you know. He's a machine. He's an AI. He just has an accent. Actor? Oh, the actor for him. That I'm not for sure of. I can look that up in just a second here. But you can, because I'm talking right now.
Really use.
Um,
I love like that little detail that they did, like using this. I don't know if that was. I still don't know if that was on purpose or not. But like using the same actor.
I think
Chef's
that it had to
kiss.
been on purpose.
He is English,
and
he's from London.
look at him. But I don't think that he knew what was coming.
Well, no, the MCU is very secretive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they knew,
Of course,
but they didn't tell him.
Mm-hmm. They just let him be excited.
Now, what if he said no?
Then they would have been mad. They would just have to been.
They probably would just up the price.
Maybe.
I mean, at that point,
like people, it's so beautiful and like
Age and Ultron, like they were big by then.
Yeah, like people get so excited to like, I'm a part of the MCU, like I'm permanently a part of that, and it's like it's real, like that's a big thing. Congrats to all the MCU peeps.
Hire me.
Let's go. But all right, now we're getting into the thick of the problem. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of important to also mention that Peggy is being haunted by Captain America. Not Captain America's ghost, but like the ghost of his existence. And there's these stories that are always being told, and the helpless Miss Carver. Like, you guys were so creative. And it's like, that's so frustrating for her to like hear this woman that's supposed to be like her and just being painted as just this helpless damsel in distress that needs Captain America to come and save her.
Even like the characterization of like Captain America himself too, I feel like has to be hard, because I wrote down like they're like, which makes sense, but in a way they're like profiting still off of Captain America, even though like that's not what he was for.
Correct.
He was like, yeah, I wrote on a catchphrase, you're gonna be seeing stars and stripes. Like, he ain't never said that a day in his life.
Never ever. He may have said I punched Hitler 100 times, but that was it.
That was different. Well, he did have a catchphrase, and it wasn't that.
It was Avengers Assemble.
No. It was, I forget.
I can do this all day.
There you go. And he didn't go around punching Nazis every day.
He didn't. He was shooting them.
Yeah, the American people also don't know about like the real reason why they made Captain America. They don't know about the Red Skull.
I thought that they made him just like to get an advantage on the Nazis.
I mean, yes. But also,
like they didn't know like that he went to go save those people or something, or like
the American people don't know about the Red Skull. They don't know like
that's the only part that they don't know.
They don't know that the project was used before and it failed. They don't know like he was behind like the weapons of Hitler. Like he was the
like
the
he has division.
They don't know about Hydra. Like they don't know about this whole secret thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I wonder if they'll put that in there, because we'll find out later in the season about the infiltration. So I wonder if they'll like sneak peek it in the series.
Maybe. We'll have to find out. Okay, so
I drew the box.
Oh, the voice box cut. I was like, that girl, that's not a box.
I would show you, but it's on white paper, so I don't think you'll be able to be seen.
Yeah, sorry guys.
It looks like this.
I'll draw it. Okay, but at the implosion.
Yes, I was like, we're talking about explosions.
Yes. So everyone kind of gets the same information at the same time when they're trying to figure out who's the Leviathan, who this buyer
Very
like had the truck.
It's like boop boop
boop. And so it's Mr. McPhee, and now like Peggy knows about Mr. McPhee first because she's the best investigator of all times, and then the SSR finds out, and then so does the
no voice box blondie,
sleepy, creepy, silent blonde man. Yeah. And Peggy gets there first, and Cap is playing in the background, and unironically, she is fighting at the same time.
Yeah, I like that.
I was
yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
so cute. And then, like, at the end, when Miss Carter, knocks him out, they're like, oh, and now Miss Carver is, like, saved, and da-da-da-da, and it's like, oh, whatever. I don't even care about that. Like, she has said something about it. But, I wonder, like, with Mr. McPhee telling the truth, like, oh my goodness, like, will Peggy get caught up? Like, what's gonna happen with him?
Dun dun dun. Commercial break.
Exactly. And I'm like, wow, that was a great way to get rid of all of those implosion bombs, like, at one time. Because imagine if those had, like, actually got out into the world. Like, those were the only ones that got made,
but they still don't have the equation.
Formula.
Yeah.
But it also probably, like, takes a certain amount of power and knowledge and resources to get that done. Like, that's why they had to go to Roxxon to get it done. But, like, Stark's competitor.
That's, like, not cleaned up afterwards.
No, like, they don't ever,
like,
at least for these first 4 episodes. But, like, we haven't concluded everything with his invention. So maybe at the end they're like, all right, I got a checklist, all my things are here, like, yay. Maybe. But yeah, it might have devastated the surrounding ecosystem, like,
bye lake, bye fishes,
like, dang, just death. They didn't even know. And it's like, is that low-key a hydrogen bomb now? Because all of that water didn't just disappear. Like, I bet some of it may have gotten evaporated. However, like, it's an implosion, so, like, the explosion happened, there's still water, and then it all sucks back in and it condenses. And, like, at first, like, you think, like, oh, it just condenses and it just kind of disappears. Like, that's at first, like, what they're trying to make it seem. But, like, there was still the Roxxon building left after it had exploded.
Yeah.
And they were able to, like, pick things apart, and they found a license plate. And I'm like, oh, I knew that they were going to find a license plate.
Miss Scientist.
Like, what's going on with that water? All that hydrogen is all, like, being compressed in there.
Is it, like,
dangerous?
I'm not as smart as you here, but would it be like maybe, like, heated up and, like, evaporated?
I don't think,
like, if it was condensed,
because hydrogen,
not, like, hydrogen, but water.
Maybe, but see, that's the thing. Like, I would think that it would be compressed so much that it would just start to, like, separate into the atoms. That's what I would think about, like, on the atomical level of the H2O. Oh my goodness!
Like, this is not even processing in my head. Like,
you're hilarious.
I don't know. Maybe there's a droplet in the water. I
don't know what to tell you, bro. Yes, it's a hydrogen bomb. Okay? Move on. It sounds like that's what you want. But I also wonder, like, if there is some kind of residue that is left behind from the implosion. Because, like, well, yes, there is, because we see them measuring that. And so, like, I wonder if that has, like, will that seep into the environment? Like, I would like to know what this disappearance of a lake is going to do for the environment.
I feel like there's a lot of, like, loose holes. Because, like, also with, like, the license plate and the car, like, they do dismiss Jarvis, but, like, they, like, never bring up the car again. Like, did you find the car? Like, yeah, like, you could still use that as evidence. Like, they just let it go. Like,
well, okay, so it was reported stolen, and I don't think that they were really trying to force, like, oh yeah, Jarvis, like, you're the problem, and, like, I don't think that they were thinking, like, oh, this car will tie in our investigation. Like, they're like, oh, there's probably bigger things that will get Tony Stark, because, like, he has black weapons. I mean, he has weapons out on the black market. Mm-hmm. So, like,
they just wanted him to talk.
All right, but Peggy, she also moves into the Griffith. She's like, all right, I give in. I'm gonna do it. Okay, and it's a great concept.
Stop pushing people away.
Yeah,
we're gonna be friends.
We can
also, when she was like, yeah, like, my roomie just left, I thought this girl was living in, like, a regular apartment. No.
Not at all. And it's like, oh, baby girl probably didn't just leave. She probably got kicked out trying to sneak a man up in there.
That first breakfast, when that girl got kicked out, she definitely got kicked out.
I was like, oh. Or she got married. One of the two.
Or one of the two. That's it. Those are the only options.
That's literally the only option. Why else would you leave?
And, free food? Why would you leave?
Why?
I don't need no man in my room. Shoot. Good night.
Like, Bro, you want to get a man, go get a man out on the streets or something.
Literally.
Like, don't bring him back to your house and
Go
mess
to
up
his
the bed.
house.
Exactly. Is he a bum?
Like, you
should
don't have to check
mess with
in.
him.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
goodness.
need to marry higher. That's what this society is.
Like, come on, baby girl. Do your feet work. But as we get deeper into the investigations that the SSR is completing, we find out that the Leviathan is Russian. And so I'm like, okay, that's very interesting.
Oh.
So why did the... Yes, it's some kind of Russian organization.
Got it. That makes sense why there's 2 Russians.
Yes!
And why they were talking about, oh, all these Russians died.
Like, bro, what does Russia have to do with anything?
No, I was like, why are there 2 Russians and we're talking about Germany and Nazis? Like, what the hell is happening? I think this is like, I did think of this though. I don't know why I didn't connect this. But I was like, okay, maybe this is like leading up to like the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, wait, isn't the Cold War later on? Isn't that like 40 years later? I feel like the Cold War was like in the 80s.
Maybe that's Vietnam that you're thinking of.
Wasn't Vietnam in like the 2000s?
No. No, that's when all the hippies and like, yeah,
that was
peace
the
and
80s for
love.
Vietnam.
Like, Vietnam is when the hippies were.
I thought
yeah.
the hippies was for the Cold War.
No, that was for Vietnam. Like, peace, not love. Da da da.
What even was the Vietnam War?
Okay, so
BS. That's what I remember thinking it was when we learned about it. I was like,
the Vietnam. But anyways, it says that the Cold War lasted from 1947 to the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. So it did last a long time. And it's not like
the Soviet Union is not around anymore.
No, I think it's just called something else.
Who the hell is that man?
The Russian man. Like,
yeah,
I think he just a president of Russia. I don't know.
Okay, so anyways, so my theory is correct. This has to be like setting up the Cold War then.
Correct, because this is set in 1946.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my goodness, like tensions. Yeah, he's a president.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Mm.
I just thought they were still under the Soviet Union.
Oh,
like communism and like fascists.
I think like that's just a different, like that's their own thing. Like there was like, okay, like yeah, this union is done, but like we still believe in this.
Oh,
yeah. Like they're still like communistic and like they're like, yeah, like that's why like, oh, like there's Russian allies versus like democratic allies or something. But I don't know, because freaking Britain and the UK, like they got kings and things.
But that's a monarchy.
Right. It's not. But it's not capitalism versus communism. That's not like, because he's still a president. So that had to be democracy.
Well, I was going to say, like, the UK isn't just like a monarchy. It's not a straight monarchy because they have, like, Congress and stuff. So, like, the king is not the say all be all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of checks and balances.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy's just don't got no check or balance. He's just like, I'm just.
Well, yeah, he's not a dictator, though. Because it would say dictator.
Then it would. So then I don't know.
North Korea.
Why does he get to be president for so long?
It's a dictator.
I guess.
Oh, wait, he's
still president.
We need to go back to history class.
What the hell? This man has been president since 2000. This man has been president longer than we've been alive. Yes.
So then he's a dictator.
But they say he's the president of Russia. That's what Google says.
Maybe that's what he says.
He's a liar.
You know how some people have pulled in the media?
You right.
Let's get back on topic. Anyway,
yeah, so the Leviathan is
they're
Russian.
setting up for the Cold War.
Yeah.
We cracked the code.
Surprise. But
no one died. Well, I can't say that. Because we learn later when he goes to the prison and talks to the one guy. He's like, yeah, like no Germans killed. So like, why were Russians killed?
Exactly. See, that's still the mystery that we have to find out.
Right. We're still in the middle of the series. This is why everything is still confusing.
Yes. There are still answers to be had. But I'm like, okay, so if he is Russian, if the Leviathan is Russian and that is what he's a part of, why did they communicate in English? With a little far range transmitter typewriter thingy.
Movie magic.
Yeah, I suppose. And also, like, where did the paper transcripts go when he was done? Did he just burn them? Like, I feel like that would probably have to be the best option.
Yeah.
And also, how did he get the things into the cushion. Maybe he flipped it upside down and then cut into it.
Or maybe he's a seamstress.
He had things to do. He didn't have time to re-sew the couch cushions. But Carter's like, all right, I think the best line of action will be to go back to the scene of the crime. Okay? Like, we're going to get some CSI Carter here. Yes.
You got it.
I got it. And we also get to get some Jarvis lore while we're doing the CSI adventure. Find out why he got dishonorably discharged from...
Not really dishonorably.
Like, not at all, but to them. And during this time,
right.
Dishonorable discharge, and also
she was Jewish, okay?
Yeah,
trying to live.
I'm just trying to get her to safety. I don't want her to be in Nazi Germany. And yeah, I was a part of the war, but it's like,
which is so interesting. I do not see Jarvis as a military man.
Me neither.
But maybe because he wasn't there for that long.
And maybe it's like, yeah, and like also because he's like, oh yeah, I can handle this gun, whatever. But like he can't fight. No combative skills.
When they barely handle the gun.
Yeah.
But I feel like this also plays into like seeing a different side of Howard. There's a little good in him.
Well,
like, but like, yeah, the same with Tony. How like he does pay attention to like Peter, like making sure he's not gonna show it, but he's still gonna like help in his weird ways. Like you literally just gave birth to yourself, like, and you're mad at him. Like,
what do you want from him, Howard? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Very strange, but
and like Tony is never able to realize that for himself. Like people tell him, but, like he doesn't resonate.
No, because he's just blocked by that pain and that hurt that like my father did this to me. Like there's no way that we could be similar because I would never do that, but like. Literally doesn't.
Well,
not exactly, but like to Peter.
Yeah,
and like just kind of not really telling him exactly what you don't want him to do. You're just like dancing around it. Like, bro, just be direct. You understand that as a smart child, it has that.
He doesn't though.
Because I'm like, you see you with your daddy. Look at what your dad.
You know what they need therapy.
You're right.
Just that's like the one thing last episode that they don't go to. Only person that goes to therapy is Kingpin. After years.
And that's just for his marriage.
Exactly.
My love. I can't
that's literally the only one we see going. I feel like there's someone else that we see going to therapy.
Who?
I don't know. Feels like a woman in my head.
I don't remember no therapy. But
maybe it's Moon Knight. Or is that just like a psych word?
That was the psych ward. That was the psych ward in his brain when he died.
Right. Yeah. I feel I don't know. There's so many things in my head.
So many therapists.
I feel like they should dive into that more. What?
Moon Knight?
No.
Therapy.
Yeah. What would a healed superhero look like?
Right. With no trauma.
Well, healed trauma.
Healed trauma.
I feel like you can't be a superhero without trauma.
Right, like you have to have this.
Like, why would a
righteous
regular person like become a superhero?
Yeah, because like right when we see kind of normal people just get this. Well, no, never mind. He wasn't really normal. I was thinking about Deadpool. Like, oh, like a normal person just kind of like gets superpowers. No, he wasn't normal. He was a mercenary. That's traumatic in itself. What used to murder
He was in
people.
The military, yeah.
Yeah, like,
and he got experimented on against his will.
Exactly. When he thought he was going to get cured for cancer and go back to his woman.
Yeah, cancer in itself. Traumatizing.
Just when he was about to marry your girl, now everything's going
trauma. There's late life trauma.
Yeah, there is. 100%. You can be traumatized any day.
Today, tomorrow.
Watch out, y'all.
The title of the podcast. Watch out for trauma.
Big warning signs in the thumbnail.
A little yellow triangle.
literally. So yes, they are finding out like what happened the night of the thievery that happened. Okay, so she goes and she investigates the hole. She's like, all right, I see this hole.
Right, did they not think to go down there? Or did he not?
No one else knows that there was a hole.
But like, did Howard not think to go down there?
Maybe
he's not
like,
that smart.
Exactly. Like he didn't put all the pieces together. There's a very important pieces. It was a thunderstorm. The power went out.
In the
like that was water. The information before we knew about this part. So like Peggy was putting all those pieces together and she was like, okay, this gets filled up. Like New York City has this old pipeline where the flood water needs to go out to the gate. And I'm just confused though. If he floated all of these things and when they got to the end of the tunnel, there was this gate that they had to open.
Was it just open?
Like how did
they get out?
How did that happen? And it's like, how full was this thing where like you weren't pushed up to the top of water? I don't know, give me cringe vibes. But they eventually are like, all right, I look over and she sees the boat. And that was the same symbol that baby boy had drew before he...
And you're watching Disney Channel.
Get into it. But yeah, and they go to investigate this boat and they don't pay attention that they have a tail on them. And I'm like, no one is being aware of your surroundings right now. Like you're literally
they're too caught up in like I figured it out.
The mystery of it all. And it's like, you need to be aware of your surroundings, girl. But it don't happen. And we never find out who that is.
Just
as of
random muscle.
Not the person that like fights them in the...
He's the... not yet. He's the one who follows Homeboy, right?
Yeah.
Kills them. Yeah, I feel like we're too early.
Yes, we're gonna see them.
Probably like the head guy. Like the guy who's like, guess I'll do it myself. When they should have did themselves in the first place. Like, why are you mad?
Come on now. Maybe because the henchmen's work out for other things.
Dying.
Okay, but they find all the missing goods and they all... Well, so far we've only seen two. We see the implosion bomb and then the massager, and they both have this glow to them. And I'm like, I wonder, is this inspired by the Tesseract? Like, does this power get drawn from the... Not necessarily drawn from the Tesseract, because they don't really know the full extent of the power. Because like at the end of Captain America, we see Howard finds the Tesseract.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, do they have it?
Like Toward.
Okay, does Howard have it or does the government have it?
I don't know, because Howard was the one that was looking. It's not like the government was down there.
Right, did he hide it? But no, but know. Like when we start Captain... Nope.
Maybe he gives it to Peggy and that's how S.H.I.E.L.D. has it.
Okay, I was going to say, when does it pop back up again?
It pops back up
in Avengers.
In Avengers, yes.
In S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. So then, yeah, it would make sense if Howard had it, though, too.
Yep, because he was looking for baby boy in the ocean, and he finds...
How do you hide that?
I don't know. Like, that power? I mean, I guess in a box, in a wall.
But I wonder if that's going to be brought up. Like, is he pulling from there? Like, is he learning about it? Or is he, like, staying away? Because he, like, knows, like, the dangers.
I don't know. I personally will feel like it's honestly that he is trying to dibble and dabble, because why else would these things have this ethereal glow? Like there is like what reason besides like, oh, I'm learning from this Tesseract that like these things have a glow to them. Yeah, that's kind of strange.
They should show us the equation. But then like how are they able to recreate it if it's like alien like technology?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he's just learning from it, not actually using it. Because like maybe that's like why it's not blue, and like why we don't actually know a lot of information about him, why they were doing so many tests on it in the Avengers movie. But yes, we see that Peggy kind of, she wants to expose her findings to her peers. She's ready
to get her recognition that she deserves.
Yes, after being told off like that, like trying to free Jarvis, she's like, "Oh, like
that was crazy,"
and it's like, dang,
yelling at her like that.
I mean, he probably yells at all of them.
Oh yeah, but like that's the one thing that you treat people equal on, but she can't take on cases. But you gonna yell at her like that?
It's like
I feel like for the times to yell at a woman like that is crazy. You're right. Didn't you have to say anything?
So they get called to the scene, and Sousa has proper suspicion. He's like, this is too easy. Like, why is someone calling like with this tip? And like, damn, just as the muscle starts talking about like what happened, bam,
That was
bam.
How are you a detective if you don't know that setup?
Yeah, but maybe like people get familiar with this like because it has happened. So this is the time where it starts happening where you're like, I gotta look out for these kinds of things.
Did not expect him to just KO right there.
Me neither, but it's like, and I didn't really care. He wasn't a fun character. Yeah. Get him gone. But I think it's very interesting how the chief finds a way to spin it around and like blames it on Tony Stark. Like, just remember that man would have been here today if it wasn't for Tony Stark, and like we need to focus all our efforts on getting Tony Stark to do justice for this man.
I will say though, if I were them, if as an audience we only have the information that the SSR had, I definitely would be blaming Tony Stark as well. Tony Stark? Howard Stark.
Right. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Dude? My bad, girl. My bad. I just been calling them
the same person, copy and paste.
Literally.
But no, yeah, like Howard. I would be blaming Howard too. Like if that's like they're on the same path, but like they're coming to different conclusions because of the information that they have.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. And or like they can focus their efforts on different things. Like Peggy can really hone in on the quote unquote truth because we still don't know exactly what Howard is hiding.
Yeah.
However,
he's lying to us.
He's lying. But yeah, like they're just going off of Tony Stark is a problem.
Howard
Stark is the problem. However, like as they're finding out more, they're seeing like there's more pieces to this, but like they still think that Howard is in the center. But next we find out Howard has come back to the US. Okay. And after like this kind of raid situation happens where he's getting smuggled in and they want to pay him and like they're asking for more money, but like good thing he brought backup because everything can settle down. He's talking in the car. He's talking about Peggy can do 107 one-arm push-ups. What?
107 one-arm push-ups?
Yes. Bro, what?
Prove
I can barely do like 2.
Prove it.
And it's like I see that they are putting all these resources to like watch out for Tony Stark's homes, like even the ones that's on like the back of the backlist and like underneath the dummy company and this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, so you had all these resources to find out this information before, but you weren't really putting in the effort. Like you just had to get some kind of motivation. Like you weren't motivated enough to find out the truth. Like,
well, maybe they didn't think it was necessary. Like, okay, he has a side house, so what? Because he is a playboy.
Yeah, so but like they're trying to find him. That's the thing. Like they want to find him and bring him in. So it's like you weren't trying to stake out the houses and like see who's gonna be there, who's pulling up. You only started doing that after one of yours died.
Yeah.
So it's like you're lazy. Come on, get it together. But yeah, he risked this whole investigation, risked coming back here just to give Peggy a camera pin. Like that's suspicious. Came all this way just for a camera pin. What's that about? And like we know that there's an underlying agenda, but what exactly is it? What is it? My goodness.
Find out after this commercial break.
Dun dun dun. But we see this new Mr. Blonde, creepy blonde man. I do believe his name is Mr. Mink because they were the people who had trafficked Tony back, smuggled, not trafficked.
Right.
Smuggled him back into the country. He went
willingly.
Correct. Smuggled him back into the country. And, yeah, he got this freaky revolver gun that's, for some reason, important later. Automatic, that's what it's called. Automatic revolver.
Is that an automatic?
I want that. Whoa, Lily. Are you okay? No, she's not okay.
Dottie. I wrote her name down.
Yeah. When she first moved in, I thought she was a little bit strange. I was like, I didn't know she was going to be that.
Right. She is new.
She's very new. What's the tea? But Peggy confronts Howard and like
as she should
because he's talking about like this one thing, this one switch. You switch one switch and it'll turn off all of the power in New York. Like you don't make me the guy that destroyed the worst city in the world. Like it'll take us back like 500 years. Wait, did I say worst? Oh, well. Best city in the world. Like oh my goodness. And I'm like that's suspicious. this one switch and
You
everything's
could
gonna
have
go
gaslighted
down.
me, bro. I was so confused. I was like, why are we hiring on this switch, bro?
It's just like, that's so skeptical. Like, why is it? Oh, this one switch will destroy all of New York, all the power grids. And it's like, what's going on? She finds out this is just a casing for a vial of her man's blood.
First of all, how'd they get that?
They took it after he went through after he got the serum injected into him, and then like, baby boy got killed, they drew a lot of his blood because they're like, we can't make any more of this serum.
And he was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, like he was eating U.S. government property, sort of, kind of, He kind of got to sit down, like, all right, get the test. It's not like they were taking out pints. They just like filled up a couple of vials. Steve, after the ice, would never let that slide. No, because he know too much. I can't trust y'all. It's my blood. But Howard, I thought this was a really good thing that they brought up. But she's like, yeah, like you're using my reaction to your lies to justify your lie.
Yeah,
and it's like,
you just hit me, bro. What? That was justified. Like, come on.
And he's like, see, this is why I didn't tell you. It was like, no, like your lying is what caused her to punch you, not the fact that you have Cap's blood. Like maybe she would have punched you,
gatekeeper,
but it's like, what the heck? And I love how all of her punches kind of resemble that old style of movie filming. I think that's really funny. But
pow! Just need that on the comic book. Pow! Bang!
Exactly. And it's like, oh, he's like, my family was poor, and like you gotta lie in order to get up here. And it's like, okay, so you got to this point where like you don't have to continue to do that. Like you're still choosing.
But that makes
to be this.
That makes sense for his character. Like that's where like why he went down the path he went down makes sense. He's like, okay, this is how I got to where I am. This is what works.
So
I have to keep going.
Right. I guess.
And definitely like coming from like poverty, some people have the mindset of like I can never go back. Like my family can never go back. Like we have to be up and up. So it makes sense why he was like, okay, Stark has to be bigger than ever.
Yeah.
But then you like
too big to fail.
Don't teach your kid how to like, I don't know, work hard.
Yeah. I feel like he kind of did, because like Tony does have a hard-working effort. Like he's capable to like make things by himself and like do things for himself. And I feel like it was a lot of neglect from his father to show him how to do those things.
I would say, in a different way. Like not.
I think that he gave him maybe like some money to like do some things, but I feel like he was a lot of like, like you're gonna be great and you need to do things for yourself. Like get it together. Because it's like, I don't know. I feel like when those kids that get like catered to and like everything that they want to give it to them, they become like booty kissers. They're like, okay, I want my dad's like approval. And like Tony more so has this like disdain for his father. Like, like I don't really care about what you want.
I feel like it's kind of like it's still approval, but in a way that you don't admit. Like it's like a revenge type thing.
Like I want you to care. Yeah, like I want you to show care and interest and like acting out just like to get attention.
Yeah.
But being in the MCU, it kind of slips my mind the state of grief that Peggy is in. I
mean, like, he died like 3 years ago.
Exactly. And like I'm just saying, like being in the MCU and knowing that he's alive, and like it slips my mind that like she really believes that this man is dead. Like she doesn't get to see him
too.
Yeah. Dead. Like I don't get a body to mourn him. Like I don't know for sure that he's dead. Like I can just assume, but it's like I have to assume the worst of it all. And it's like you can see how that has a really big impact on her and like what's going on.
Yeah, like the first guy she's ever like actually cared for in that way too. And also she
like respect her as well.
She's also here by herself.
Right, like
she doesn't have a support system. No,
pushing all her friends away too. But we see, right, like we were talking about Miss Girl when Mr. Mink comes by
Dottie.
To like try to kill her.
Yeah, she pulled out that Black Widow type.
No, for real, and like she saved Peggy's life. They was gonna die. They didn't have no blick up in there, but
well,
like, maybe
Peggy probably had one.
Right, you right. Never mind.
Not automatic multiple bullet one, but
multiple bully.
she has that small little black little.
Don't play.
Yeah.
No, it's more like this.
Real small. And the crazy thing is, like, she be knocking people out with that. I'm like, girl, it's like this big.
But like, it got weight and it got bullets in there.
I guess.
You know, add that extra force to her punch. Boom. Go down. But I'm like, she kind of crazy. Is she an undercover agent of some sorts? Like,
she's too crazy for that. To be like, I want it, and then to kill him.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he was gonna try to kill her first.
But still, it was a crazy ass.
Yes. And yeah, I am kind of glad that we don't have to worry about him anymore. I'm just like, oh, one and done. Like, he got introduced.
Wasn't that important? Yeah.
I mean, like, he was just like, oh yeah, like, I want my money.
And I need my money.
I thought that he was gonna be like more important in the Leviathan-ness of it all. I'm just like, oh, but no, he was not.
He still had his voice box.
He did. Like, maybe he's some guy in charge or something, because he's like, oh, like, I can't trust you all to do it. Like, I'll just do it myself. And so that's where I thought that things were coming in at. But no, because I thought that he was maybe the man that killed them. But once he died that quick, I was like, well, that obviously wasn't him.
And his body under the bed was crazy.
No, literally, while she's playing with the gun. I mean, she got to play with her new toys. She got to figure
Dottie,
out.
you coming down to lunch?
Yeah. Be there in a second. Don't mind me.
That poor girl. So innocent.
She
so naive.
And it feels like she's a little bit overbearing, because like, for her to get mad at Peggy for like just being like, yeah, like, I've had a long day, like, I'm just trying to, you know, like, whatever, be alone, do me. And she's like, oh, fine, like, you don't want to be my friend, like, F you. Like,
I will say though,
can't believe this.
In her defense, multiple occurrences and patterns. Like, it's not just like one, like, oh no, it was like multiple times.
I feel like she's also just like expecting, I don't know, she just felt like so clingy to me.
I feel like you don't like her.
No, that's the thing though. I do like her. I think that she's a good character. I just thought that she was a little clingy. Like, oh my goodness, like, damn girl, calm down.
I feel like it's not a podcast
later, so I'm like, okay.
I feel like it's not a podcast without one of us not liking the one of the female characters.
Damn it. We love women, please.
It's not that we don't like the female characters, like, it's that we don't like how they write the female characters.
Exactly. But we see information about what's his name? The Nazi that the chief goes to talk to in Germany. And he's like, Finau was a cover-up. And we find out that Howard was on the plane from Finau when like that whole thing happened. So it's like interesting. Okay, so here is my guess. Man said that they were ripped apart. I think the Winter Soldier has something to do with this, and that's why there is a Russian involvement.
But the Winter Soldier is part of Hydra, and Hydra is German. Am I wrong?
But no, you're not wrong. However, like, for some reason, they have something to do with Russia. I know for sure, like, Winter Soldier has some kind of Russian ties, because I think that the words that they say to him are Russian words. I don't think that those are German words.
But like, he was, before he disappeared, all his stuff is from Hydra, which is German.
Yeah.
So is he
maybe he's like a product
sold or something?
Yeah, maybe he was a product of it, and then like once Hydra got quote unquote dismantled and they had to like move over to America, maybe some of the things got lost to Russia. All right, so what are we finding?
The interwebs are saying that he is part of both. So my guess is when he disappears again, Russia must have picked him up, the Soviet Union.
Putting brain things in his brain. Yeah, because that journal and that star, like, it was just giving too much Russia to be German.
In the comics it said he was recruited by the Soviets.
All right,
to be a weapon during the Cold War and beyond.
And see, like you said, this was being set up for the Cold War. So now we imagine
though being Hydra and like losing your greatest experiment.
Yikes.
And not even knowing.
Sucks to suck.
And still being around and not knowing.
They didn't know that he was, wow. So I wonder what happened. I would like to know more of like.
I think he just got picked up by Russians.
Like they just captured him
and
like,
probably like did experiments and stuff.
so did the Germans just think that he just disappeared? Like, oh, like no reason.
Well, Hydra only had him when they started the experiments. Well, no, but he's saying things when Captain America picks him up. He's like mumbling things. That's where I'm confused.
Yeah, they were,
and that's German.
Maybe, and like, why were they doing experiments on him?
There has to be some ties between the two.
Maybe
groups.
They thought that like he was Steve's brother or something, and like maybe he would take to the serum well. But like, did they even really know about Captain America until he came to come and save them?
Yeah, the Red Skull.
Oh, he knew about Captain America. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like there has to be like someone is part of both. Like there has to be evil people
double
attract
agent.
Evil people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There are secret agents somewhere.
Yeah.
Spies, espionage, all of that. But
Bucky appears.
Oh, what are you doing here? Rihanna. But he's like, all right, yo, I'm not gonna let you hang if you give me information. So like, here's some little tic tacs I got for you. And so, okay, at first I thought that he was just like, oh, right, these are actual cyanide pills. I'm gonna give this man the cyanide pill.
Yeah, not the big mints.
No, literally, at first I was like, so he just about to kill that guard, and like, I guess he got to cover his tracks or something. No, bro, you gave that man a mint. He gonna let him hang.
He is a Nazi. So.
Correct. Like, you can't have sympathy for him. But it was like, I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh my goodness.
My question is, okay, Howard knows who Bucky is.
So I'm like, was he in Finnow investigating if Bucky was involved?
Right. Does Howard know that Bucky is alive? And
I think he may have suspected it.
If he knows, though, would he not feel some kind of responsibility to find this man? And also to be the one at the end. Like, because if he doesn't feel any kind of responsibility, then, like, karma.
And, yeah.
But that makes sense, though, because if he's working for the Russians and, like, Howard back in the day, then, like, you know, might as well. Because, like, you messed up our plan back in the day. Like, revenge.
I don't know. But I think that that's definitely what he was doing in Finnow. Like, that's why he got caught up on that plane.
It's so interesting. Because, yeah, we see... There is a switch, though, in Howard, though. Because when he's talking to Peggy, he's like, yeah, like, this blood could, like, cure diseases and, like, save so many lives and blah, 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 blah. And then when we see him again in the future, it's like, you were using it for, like, super serum. Like, you're trying to, like, build more of Steve. Well, not the blood, but, like...
Oh.
Yeah, but, like you're trying to recreate the serum, the whatever. It's like, where was the switch from, like, trying to save lives?
Yeah.
Or, like...
There's a lot of switches with him that happen that we need to know more about. Like, what the heck, Howard?
Is it the mama?
Maybe she's not that good. Like you said, bad people attract bad people.
Trauma attacks trauma. If Howard the way is the... Look at West Virginia.
Exactly. Let's just pray for them all. All the Starks.
Well, they're already, you know...
Let's just pray for them all. All the Starks. Yes.
They're already... no point in there.
In God's hands. Like we are. Yes. But closing up here at the end of episode 4, Peggy hides Cap's blood away.
Not there yet.
What? Oh. Peggy hides Cap's blood away.
Right.
And I'm like,
she should have, like, put, like, I don't know, paint it there or something, or, like, get some cement or something. Put the picture up and call it a day. Like,
I mean, they're not finna come investigate. This is her house as well.
If someone's coming in to find something,
I mean, that's true. Like, if she's trying to hide it away from everyone else, but I think like she's not thinking that someone is coming to look for this because they don't know that it exists. Like, she's just like, this needs to stay away. This needs to stay somewhere safe. I can't just put it in a drawer. Like, let me just put it behind this wall.
Why not get rid of it? Can you get rid of blood?
I mean, you can contaminate it so it can't be used. Like, you could
why not
flush it down the toilet. Yeah. Now it's mixed in with all the ocean water.
Why not do that?
I don't know. Maybe sentimental. Like, maybe she is thinking about how this could help, but like she doesn't want to do it in that way where it would benefit some one person financially. Like shouldn't benefit anybody financially. Like that's not what Cap stood for. It's not what he was alive for.
Right, he was broke.
Literally. Like you, Howard. But I'm thinking like I'm wondering if they ever did anything with him and like with his blood once he warmed back up. But I was, of course thinking about this before we chatted about it, and you're like, yeah, Cap at the ice would never let anything happen with his blood. And I'm like, that's real.
No, he went back to like stage performance type. Like when we see him in Spider-Man and like the little blah 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 blah.
Gym is important. Get your cardio.
Yeah, that's what he went.
So you got detention. Like what?
But I feel like also at that point, it's like we have Captain America back. We're good. I feel like that point in the MCU, they stopped trying to recreate the Cap series until he leaves again.
Yeah,
like we have Cap. We're good. We don't have Cap. We need Cap.
We need a captain.
Yeah,
like. Stand up. Come on now.
Like y'all tried and failed so many times. Give up.
Get it together.
At some point, stop.
Just stop. But yeah, then we see the chief and he's boop, 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 boop. Oh snaps. There's a message being typed.
The fact that he's like kind of scared and confused is so confusing to me because like it's a transmitter.
Like they literally just told you.
Like how did you think words were gonna appear on there? Were they gonna call you?
And it said, type this message. A, B, and it's like, yeah. What does it say? You'll find out.
You'll find out
on the next episode.
After this commercial break.
But yeah, so far, how are you feeling about this?
Okay, first time I ever watched it, I only watched on this episode. I told you this, and I feel like I didn't pay enough attention. I was like, this message is trash. But then, like rewatching it, I kind of like it. It is very. I feel like it's more simple minded, at least for now, than like the MCU movies.
Yeah, it's not as intricate with all the details.
It's not like, oh, that camera means something, blah 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 blah. It's very like ABC TV show.
Yeah, I wonder if this also has anything to do with like the times that they're trying to emulate.
Yeah,
like they're just like, oh, yeah. Like,
also,
this is just.
Yeah, I noticed they have like an old timey filter on as well. Right. Also, though, I find it interesting because they talk about Project Rebirth, but they expect us to just know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, they never go into detail about,
like, what is this?
Yeah. Because at first I was like, is this just, like, the first time that they mess with Steve? But no, it's, like, after. Also, though, for him to only be gone like 3 years.
Yeah, they're already
and for you to experiment right away after, like, let the guy breathe or something. Dang.
Come on.
Yeah. So I maybe they'll go into it later, because like they try to do it again. I feel like Howard was talking about, like he's trying to like restart Project Rebirth again.
Like, stop.
Give up.
Just let Cap be. Let Cap rest.
Clearly not. Everyone can't though.
No. They're just like, this is the best thing that happened to the whole wide world. We all need a captain.
Do you know they need to go up to space and talk to the Red Skull?
They do. But they don't know that he's up there.
They don't know he exists at all.
No, bro. According to Cap didn't know what he was seeing. He's just like, yeah, that man is gone. So like they're thinking that he just like Cap killed him or something. Right. Like, no, that man disappeared into a rainbow in the sky. He's like, I don't have time to digest this. maybe like that's why him and Thor have this like interesting connection.
We talked about this. I feel like we talked about it in the podcast too.
We've talked about Thor and Cap's like relationship, but not with it having to do with anything like with that happening.
But we talked about like space and anyways, I wonder if they'll also bring up the little short scientist guy. Because we'll find out later in the season that they put him in the computer.
Oh, that short scientist guy.
Yeah.
Okay. What else about him? What else do you wonder if we'll find out about him?
In this series, like if they're going to bring it up, because they put him in the computer and he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
I wonder, how far are they going to get into S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, is it just going to be like...
I think it maybe just is going to allude to it being a thing. Like, I feel like that's what it might be.
Use the same agents? Like, is Chad going to be in S.H.I.E.L.D.? She gonna get the boot.
I have no freaking clue.
Because this is we definitely know that this is like not the FBI.
Yes, this is not the FBI. This is not the CIA.
A government known about organization.
Nope. So secret that they can't even know the abbreviation of it. Like, it's just a call center, and only who know about it know about it.
I wonder what the guys say. That they say like they're police.
I'm a detective,
but they have SSR badges though.
I don't know. Maybe they don't lie to their wives about that. I have no idea.
But like when he shows like the homeless man, it says SSR.
Right.
Or is it just a cover up for Peggy?
Maybe it's just like a cover up for Peggy. Maybe it's just her. Like, she's like, oh, I need to. But like, then what would be the point of hiding it behind the call center?
Right.
And I also thought it was very interesting that all the call center ladies were sad when the guy died. Like,
they all know each other. I
mean, I know that they all know each other, but it's not like he's like a good person. Like, he was really nice to them, respectful or anything.
When someone dies, though, it's different. Like, you could hate the guy, and when they die, like, it's like,
dang, he did.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like that reminder of humanity and like,
like
humanism, your mortality. Yeah.
I was gonna say though, no, like I was alluding to like they're upset about it because like they know the telepeople know about like the secret organization and whatnot. That's just where I was going.
Oh, right. But yeah, guys, do we rate her right now?
I think we should wait.
Yeah, I think that we should wait as well because it's just like we can't give her a justification, a justified answer. I mean, a justified rating until we get an answer to all of our questions.
Yeah, we're still like in the midst of like confusion.
This is like watching half the movie and being like, let's talk about it. But yeah, guys, this was our part 1 to Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Get ready to talk about her some more next week.
Next
time. Get ready to talk about her again next time.
Also, we're filming this during International Women's Month. Happy International Women's Month. Or is it just Women's Month? I feel like it's
Women's History Month.
Yeah, International Women's Day is a thing.
Yes, that was like on the 22nd.
But when we post it, it's not going to be Women's Day, but like Women's Month. But you should celebrate and treat women fairly all the time.
Yes.
Also, we're going to get out of 1946 and come back to the present day. Literally today in our time, they released the cast for Doomsday, the new Avengers movie that they're doing, and I just wanted to talk about it. I'm just going to tell you the cast list.
Tell me, because I have no idea.
Exactly. And we're just going to chat a little bit for like the last little 15 minutes. So stick around. Why am I going to our page?
Because we're important.
Go to the Marvel page. Anyways, okay. First off, pretty obvious people. Chris Hemsworth.
Right, because Thor is still around.
Anthony Mackie.
Right, Captain America.
Vanessa Kirby. I believe she's in Fantastic Four. I think she's
the stretchy girl? No, she's invisible. Stretchy girl's
stretchy guy.
Like partner or something. I don't know.
Anyways, whatever. Sebastian Stan. Bucky is there. Latia Wright. I hope I said that right.
I don't know who that is.
The new Black Panther.
Oh, I don't know what her name is.
That's her name.
Paul
Rudd.
Ant-Man.
And they did like a live like video thing, and in the video they made his chair like really small.
That's so cute.
I feel like I should look these up at the same time because it says Wyatt Russell. I don't know who that is.
That name sounds familiar, but I think I'm just thinking of Ryan Reynolds.
John Walker, the substitute Captain America.
Oh, Walmart Captain America.
Yeah, the horrible guy.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not gonna try it. Is he indigenous or is he Hispanic? I don't remember. But in Black Panther 2, the antagonist,
he's gonna be in it. Namora.
But apparently he is a part of Fantastic Four in the comics.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on with Fantastic Four, bro?
So yeah, maybe we'll find out later this season what's going on. I'm very curious who they're going to involve in Fantastic Four because there's a lot of different people that are like in the comics, like Spider-Man. apparently he is, and I don't know anyone else. Anyways,
Interesting. Wow.
I don't know how to say his name.
What's his
Shang-Chi.
character? Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the first time we're seeing him since his movie.
Correct.
The Rock from Fantastic Four.
Okay. I was like, Dwayne.
No. If they put Dwayne The Rock in the MCU, I'd be so mad.
I would be too. Because, like, his DC character was not that good. And then he gonna talk about, y'all, DC and Marvel should have a... No!
It's Dwayne. He was too control. The crazy thing is, like, I saw this video that reminded me of, like, his... Back in the day, like, there's a movie he did with Madison Pettis when he was, like, a football player and she's, like, a little kid.
Oh, yes, The Game.
The Game Plan.
Yeah, The Game Plan.
I was like, I love that movie. Like, he used to have credits, like the Tooth Fairy and those type of movies. Like, he was really good. And I feel like he went into, like, this jungle field, like, where he had... Like,
like, all of his characters had, like, this...
Yes!
Like, a freaking khaki cargo
Yes, this era of, like, just being in the jungle, like, finding things. Or, like, with Kevin Hart.
Bro, yes.
Like, that's where he got stuck.
There was this, like, like, a slideshow of his characters. Like, this is from 5 different movies.
Yeah.
And they're, like, all look the same.
So I feel like, yeah, his, like, movie, like, acting... Like, he hasn't changed.
Maybe it's some kind of freaky Hollywood ritual.
He is a good actor, but I feel like the stuff he puts himself in now, when, like, I feel like nowadays he could, like, deny roles and stuff like that, isn't as good as it used to be when he was still, like, probably auditioning
rituals roles. He's getting out there in that big game, and, like, they got weird stuff going on behind the scenes, man. They make you do weird stuff on camera to be a part of their secret club.
I hope not.
It's weird, but
anyways, back to
who else is on the task? I mean, on the list.
Florence Pugh.
Yelena.
They were saying, yeah, there's a lot of Fantastic Four and there's a lot of Thunderbolts, which you'll hear about
later on this
season. We got a lot of things coming for ya.
You're welcome.
Okay, there's this girl named Kelsey Grammer. That's a man.
Oh, hey, Mr. Brammer.
Oh, he's from X-Men. Beast.
Oh, okay. And that's very interesting because we see Beast at the end of... Yeah. Did you watch it?
I've seen it. I don't remember it, but people were talking about he was in the Marvels.
Yes.
And so this is what is making people believe that it's going to be like a multiple dimension
because
movie.
Baby girl, Miss Rambo, she got bounced into a different reality where, of course, mutants exist because they don't.
I should rewatch that because I don't remember any of that.
That's what we were saying. That's why I was asking if you rewatched.
Rewatched?
Yeah, no. Not the whole movie, but just the end credit scene.
No, did I say I was gonna do that?
We were talking about it.
Yeah. I feel like that's how they're going to implement X-Men.
Yeah,
just like a different dimension instead of like trying to put it into ours.
Yeah, because that would be too confusing. Like there would be so
like,
many.
Where were they?
Exactly. Like I know some of y'all live in New York. Y'all was just hiding. Y'all gonna let everybody else do? Okay, got it. Word.
Okay. Apparently, some guy named Louis Pullman who's gonna be in Thunderbolts, like a new character.
All right.
So we'll see who he is. Danny Ramirez. He's the new Falcon.
I was about to say the Blue Beetle. Wrong cinematic universe.
That's a good movie though.
Yes, we went to see it together.
We did
in the movies.
This one I saw that by myself. I'm so sorry. Joseph Quinn, he's in Fantastic Four.
Okay. Is he the fire guy?
I believe so.
Okay.
So a lot of like characters that we're going to see this year.
Upcoming. Oh, very nice. So when does Doomsday come out?
I want to say they just started production. I want to say 26 or 27. I want to maybe end of 26. This is a guess. Nice. I could be completely wrong. I'm so glad these are all popping up because people are probably researching these right now.
Literally.
David Harbour, he's the Russian Captain America.
Oh, the Red Skull. I mean, what's his name? The Red Guardian.
Yes. So you have Thunderbolts again.
Mm-hmm.
Winston Duke. Black man. Oh, Black man? Black Panther.
Huh?
Throwback black man.
Oh, he is the king of the gorilla tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while.
No.
Hey, babe. How you doing?
No, for real. What's up?
I guess they have to, like, she Black Panther could just be by herself.
Because, you know, he all about his family, all about his team, and so is she.
Oh, Ghost.
Very cool. So they gotta get pull out all the stops.
For Doomsday? Like what Homeboy was talking about? Yeah.
So I wonder how are they going to allude and build up to that? Like, how are they going to, like, make it so, like, Doomsday is going to be the big fight?
Because, like, they're only building up to Kang right now.
Exactly.
That's the only person they're talking about.
Okay, so Doomsday apparently has something to do with the multiverse as well.
Yeah.
Like, him and Kang, like, are kind of side by side in this situation that is going to converge.
Or maybe it's just, like, we just haven't seen it yet. Like, maybe we have to wait for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like in Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four, that they're gonna
tease it.
Yeah, tease us the problem, and also we kind of got to tease at the end because maybe at the end of Captain America, maybe he was talking about Kang, but also maybe he was talking about Doomsday.
But he was talking. Did he talk in plurals? Like, wasn't he like they're coming?
Maybe it's like both of them. I don't know. I don't remember him talking in plurals though, but I remember him saying like somebody is coming and like somebody who is, you know, that guy. What's up? What's the tea?
Big one that I was like, oh my gosh, about Tom Hiddleston.
Oh,
Loki's coming back.
Loki,
which is crazy because, like, sir, you're holding the timeline together. What are you doing?
And it's like, okay, so if we're talking about multiple dimensions, like, does that mean that we get a different Loki?
But it's Tom Hiddleston.
But if you said that Channing Tatum is also going to be in here,
yeah,
what if they were able to go to the place?
I wouldn't want
one of those random
different Loki.
Me neither. I would want.
Like, I wouldn't want like King Loki. Like, I would want like our MCU Loki.
Like, I feel like it would be one that would be him, but just wouldn't be like. I don't want that either. But it's like, what's happening? If you do that,
you might as well get a different actor and make it like
something fun,
like whatever her name is,
Sylvie.
Yeah, make it like that instead of like getting Tom Hiddleston. But I feel like maybe he died or something. That's so bad. Maybe he like lost his grip, or like one of the strings like got loose,
or maybe someone came to like.
Yeah.
Take over.
Yeah, maybe Doomsday.
Yeah, because he's green too.
We have to come back to this video.
Like, oh
wow. Charles.
What?
Yeah, OG actor Charles.
Doing up in here? I mean, I guess his boy, the Beast, is up in here because Beast and him are kind of tied.
X-Men, yeah.
But I wonder, like, at what stage are we gonna get him at? Because, like, I don't think.
And whatchamacallit?
Wolverine? No.
The antagonist from the first movie.
Magneto? Wow. Because he's not really an antagonist for real. Not for real. Like, they kind of, like, team up later on. But, so, like I'm saying, speaking on that, I wonder when do they get to them? Because the last thing that we remember, like, checking up on Charles up-to-date, what are they called? Mutant Universe? Charles is, like, kind of losing his stuff. He's kind of having power surges, whereas, like, he can't really control his powers because he's getting so old. But are these X-Men going to be the X-Men that we see, or are they going to redo it like how they did in Multiverse of Madness? Are these going to be different X-Men? Because he was in there too. Oh, they're dead. Mean? Huh? What do you mean Multiverse of Madness? They were in there.
When Doctor Strange in America went to a different dimension.
Oh, right. It was
the
a different character. That was Wolverine.
No, ma'am. We're talking about different things. Hold on. Let me pick the scene for you. Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
Wanda.
Yes.
She's trying to kill America.
Yes.
They're in a different America, and Doctor Strange, they get trapped in a different dimension, and she gets, stolen. They're like, hey, you're in the wrong dimension. Like, you can't be here. And like, whoa, I'm gonna die. Someone's coming after me. And they get presented in front of like this council. And it's like Agent Carter and Monica's mother. This is a different dimension.
Right, and that's where she turns the man into spaghetti, right?
Yes, the stretchy guy, and Charles is there too.
Charles was there?
Yes.
I have to rewatch this movie.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna come up, but it's not gonna come up till much later.
So what I was saying is, are we going to get a different, like how in that movie,
Oh,
a different version of Charles? Are we going to get a different
Mm.
version of the X-Men, or are we going to get the version of the X-Men that we already know?
Mm.
Because if we already know, then it makes sense for them to pick up where we already left off, because there's no point in retelling those stories again.
Then it probably might be a different one, because like Charles in his current like up to date state, or
maybe that will like play into it.
Maybe. We'll see.
Alan Cunning, apparently he was in X-Men the Nightcrawler.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I only know him from Spy Kids.
Me and my mans, we was just talking about if we're going to see more Nightcrawler stuff.
Yep.
And here we are.
You are literally psychic.
We are.
Who the hell? Rebecca Romijn? Oh, Mystique?
Wait. So, let me see her. Because they switched actresses.
So, they're going back to, this is the original one?
I do believe so.
Instead of Jennifer?
Yeah, yep, because look, I just scrolled through our pictures and there she is.
Which is, why wouldn't they go with Jennifer instead? Did she just not want to do it?
I don't know. Because I don't know why that girl is no longer a part of the mutants, but...
Or will this, like, play into where they start in the timeline?
Versus where they continued on and, like, where there was switch happened.
Right.
Wow, that's a good point.
Okay, I'm almost done, so we're just gonna keep going.
Okay.
Channing Tatum.
Right. Gambit.
Pedro Pascal, Fantastic Four.
Yep.
James Marsden. Cyclops. X-Men.
Oh, okay.
And then Robert Downey Jr.
Right. Of course. We already know.
So stupid.
But yeah, guys.
How do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. being a new character in the Marvel Universe? Because
do you feel like it's just a cash grab? Feel like it's lazy?
Not a fan.
I think that it would have been nice to give someone else an opportunity.
Yes. Especially with this big of a franchise, like to bring someone up for that.
Yeah, after like we've already kind of laid them to rest. But okay, I do enjoy that they're not bringing him back as a Tony Stark to like just be like, oh yeah, like. But we don't know for sure. We just know that this man's name is Doom. Like, we don't know if this, because I feel like it has to be that this is a Tony in a different reality. Like, it just has to be that. I refuse to. Are they
able to, like, is that connected in the comics? Like, is Tony a part of? Like,
I don't know, and I don't know if they're just taking that as free game because like their masks kind of look the same ish.
I was gonna say, I feel like in the What If series, they made it very clear that Iron Man is not coming back. Because in the first season, they killed him every single episode. Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
They were like, no.
And yeah, so I like, maybe that was to throw us off. Maybe this was their plan the whole time. I don't know.
It's a good theory to like keep.
Like I just genuinely really hope that they weren't that simple and just lazy to just grab him and like have it not align with anything at all.
I think if the other actors were willing to stay with the MCU, they would have done the same thing. Because like Scarlet was like, no, I'm done. But if she was willing to like come back, she would appear somehow. I guarantee it.
Yeah, because they know like the characters.
Chris came back.
He did
for a little bit, but he was still back.
And it also, I wonder like how much of that had to do with like his willingness to come back to Marvel versus like I was in Fantastic Four. Like he genuinely was that guy in the original Fantastic Four.
I feel like that was just like something fun.
Yeah.
Especially like with Fantastic Four coming out too. I feel like it was just like a little fun little like cameo.
Yeah.
Like sure.
Right.
I know, I'll come back
like
for Johnny and die a little bit.
Yeah, like, oh sure, like I'll play Wolverine. I think he was supposed to be like he tried out or was like supposed to be Wolverine for something.
I think if it was like a bigger thing, I don't know if he would go back though.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, guys, that's
last series I watched. Last series I watched was Running Point on Netflix. It has Brenna's song in it. Just found out a couple weeks ago from one of our friends. She's Hmong. Yeah, I thought she was Chinese, I think, because she did a Disney movie and her character was Chinese.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I never thought about.
Our friend was like, "You didn't know that?" I was like, "No, I didn't know that."
I mean, like, dang, girl, no, my bad. Like, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Wait, why did we bring up? Oh, because she was in that show that you watched. The last thing that I'm like, wait, why are we talking about Brenda's song? She's on the list. Like, wait a second. No, I was like, wait, but like, no.
Imagine. She's not that bad of an actor.
No, I like her. I feel like I'm just biased because I liked her in Disney, but like, I've seen her in recent things.
In the show, she was good.
Okay, great. But yes, the last movie that I watched was Doom. Well, okay, I can't really say that because I fell asleep during it. Some kind of space movie that has Dwayne Johnson in it, actually. But the first movie I watched and actually finished was She's the Man.
He's never going to come on our podcast.
Actually, write him on the blacklist. But no, yeah, I watched She's the Man. It's a great movie. You literally should go watch it right now. It's free on YouTube. Literally go do it. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for joining us here on the couch to talk about Miss Peggy Carter. All right, make sure you tune in, like I was saying, the next time to hear about what comes up on the typewriter, what else is going on in the conclusion to it all, and get our rating. Okay, comment down below. Let us know how you feel about the Doomsday cast. Okay, let us know how you're feeling about Agent Carter. Like this video and go ahead and subscribe so you know when the next part of this episode is going to come out. So yeah, have a great day.